forecast today?
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just a perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, but I get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade.
Welcome back to another episode of The Social Beaches. I'm Carolyn Smith.
And I'm Kelly Bowling.
And we sell real estate along the Space Coast and into Indian River County, from Cocoa Beach, Melbourne, Vieira, Century, all the way to Mims, and all the way into Vero Beach. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, or you have questions on real estate, please reach out to us. You can call us. And if I could remember the phone number, 321-422-2160.
Good job.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh, what happened to my brain? Or email us at hello@coastalestateteam.com. Yeah, my brain is tired. Brain is tired.
This is number 3 for today.
Yeah,
so.
this is number 3 for today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk today about what happens when your house moves to the clearance rack. And I think we wanted to talk about that because our market has shifted.
It has.
And it's not shifted in some horrendous, scary way.
No.
We went through a couple years, starting right after the COVID lockdown, where home prices just went through the roof.
Yes.
And I think that happened all across the country. That was not
Absolutely. It's
specific to our area or Florida. It was happening everywhere.
Yeah.
And when that happened, people struggled to keep up with oh my gosh, what's going on, and all these multiple offers and people just offering whatever and waiving inspections, and all this happened. So now that we're in much more of a stable market, it's not like a declining,
kind of a
horrible
normal market.
It's a normal market. And that's been going on for, I think, well over a year now, probably a year and a half. But sellers are struggling to adjust their thinking because they're like, well, I remember my neighbor, all these offers and this, and that house sold for this, so my house should sell for more.
Right.
So they're struggling with that. And I think that what I've started calling it, and Kelly and I are calling it, is the clearance rack mentality. And what that is we recommend, so we go in and we do the analysis for you. It's why you hire us as your professional realtors. We're doing an analysis. We're advising you. We want to sell your house. We don't want to tell you some pie-in-the-sky number so that you'll list with us and your house doesn't sell.
Trust me, we'd love it if it would sell for more and could sell for more, because that's just more for everybody, right?
Yes.
But, you have to be realistic, because listings are great, but they don't do you any good if they don't sell.
That's right.
On either end, whether you're selling it or you're the realtor.
And we're representing you. Our job is to get you the top dollar, but sell your home in the time frame you're looking for the top dollar that it's currently able to sell for. We're telling you market value.
Yes.
So you have to trust us that we're telling you market value. And it may not be what you want to hear. You may be thinking, well, I want to sell it for 20% more than my neighbor who sold a year ago. We are not experiencing 20% price increases.
It's not COVID times.
Yeah, so my analogy that I gave was sort of like you're dress shopping, and this was very true at the holidays. So you're shopping for a special occasion. You have a wedding to go to, you have something to go to, and you go to the store and you find the perfect dress, but it's priced higher than what you're really wanting to pay. So you ignore that dress for now because it's not in your budget. And you think, really, I don't think that dress should be priced for that much. And so you start looking at the other dresses. New inventory is constantly coming on the market. You have a couple weeks, you go back to the store, you find something new, you buy the new dress that came on. Meanwhile, the other dress is sitting now, it's not in the new inventory section, it's been sitting here a while section.
Yeah.
And slowly that dress is going to move into a discounted section. And when it finally sells, it's going to be because it's on the clearance rack.
Yes.
It's on the clearance rack. This is what's happening to people's houses in a very simplistic way.
Yes.
But it is what's happening, where they're pricing their house because ultimately you're the boss.
Absolutely.
As a seller, you're the boss. You want to price we told you, we put it in writing, we send the emails, and then when you come back, we're like, hey, we sent you an email, we sent you a market analysis, we showed you. But you want to price we may say, okay, we'll do that for a couple of weeks, and then we're going to come back to you and tell you.
Right.
But studies have shown time after time, your home will sell for more if you price it correctly to begin with.
Yes, absolutely. Because the longer that it sits, and this happens with any time I have a buyer that's looking, they're like, wow, that one's been on the market a lot of a lot of days.
Yeah.
Why? And then I go
What's
and I look
wrong
at
with it?
Yes, what's wrong with it? So then I'll look at the pricing and I'm like, well, they started off a lot high, and then they waited 3 months before they made a price reduction.
Yeah.
And then when they did, it was only for $10,000. So it didn't really bring any new buyers in because people are shopping in brackets of pricing.
Yes.
Typically.
Yes.
Now, can somebody be pre-approved for an odd number? Let's say $627,500.
Yes.
Sure they can. Are they maybe searching up to $650,000? Possibly. But I feel like most people are looking in $50,000 or $25,000 price
And depending
brackets.
where you are in your overall price, like if you're looking in the 300s, you're probably looking in $25,000 brackets. If you're
Yes.
over 5, you might be looking in $50,000 brackets.
Right.
Over $1 million, you're looking in $100,000 price.
So if you
brackets.
price something at just over, let's give the example of your house is worth, we'll say it's worth $380,000, but you're like, well, I want to leave some room for negotiation, is what I hear all the time from sellers. So we're going to price it at $409,000. Well, now you've gotten everybody who can only buy a house up to $399,000, which guess what? That's what your house is worth. It's
Yes.
in that range. They're not even seeing your house anymore.
No, they're
Now
not
you're-
searching over 4.
No. So I feel like you're losing out on qualified buyers who might actually be interested in your home because you wanted to leave room for negotiation. Meanwhile, it's been 120 days and you've had not one showing. So
Right.
what do you do?
Right. And the thing is we hear sometimes, well, they'll just make an offer. A lot of buyers will not just make an
No.
offer.
You know what I hear all the time from buyers that don't want to just make an offer? I don't want to offend anybody.
Right. I don't want to offend any, or what's the point? Why would I even go look? They obviously want this price.
Right.
That's not what I'm willing to pay for that
They
house.
seem unreasonable. What's going
Yes.
to happen if there's a problem during inspection? They seem unreasonable. Yeah.
So they won't go look at your house. You've got to get serious. You've got to get close to market value when you price your house.
What do you tell people all the time? That
Don't be the highest bidder for your own home.
yeah.
Don't be the highest bidder for your own home. And it's a question I ask people, and it's something really, if you can separate, I always say too that your house is worth more to you as the owner, as the current owner, than it is worth to any buyer.
Yes.
No buyer is going to pay the same value because you have emotion attached to your house. You might have a personal experience, or you bought it with somebody, or it was your parents' home if it's an estate sale, something like that. You have some sort of emotion or personal connection to that house, even if it's an investment.
Yes,
Even if it's an
this is
investment,
true.
then any buyer will feel towards that house because they have choices.
Yeah.
And they're not going to allow themselves, they may love your house, but they're going to be like, yeah, but I'm comparing it to house A, B, and C down the street, and it fails
Right.
for these reasons. So you don't want to be the highest bidder, and you don't want to be the person who, when I ask you, what would you pay for this home, removing your emotion, you have to be honest with yourself.
Right. It's
If
hard.
you were a buyer out in the market today, given the other homes that are available, what is the maximum you would pay for that house? And I can tell you, it's more than anyone else would pay.
For sure. The other thing that you have to look at too when you're pricing your home is what else is out there currently on the market for sale.
Yes.
How many are there?
Yes.
And
Inventory.
we are facing an issue in the area pretty much on all ends of the county with new construction being very competitive. So if you have a resale home,
Yes.
they're giving away low interest rates, which you can't just get on a standard home. Like in
No.
the 5s I've seen,
Yes.
they're doing realtor bonuses.
I saw 4.99 from one builder.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah,
And
4.99.
they're doing realtor bonuses. They're paying, that one development's paying 6% commission, giving away $100,000 furniture packages.
Yeah.
And I mean,
So as a
crazy
buyer, you're getting
stuff.
100. And I recently had a salesperson at a builder. So builders for years and years did not negotiate. That
Yeah.
price was the price. You don't
Right.
negotiate. But I recently had in this last week, a salesperson tell me, well, we're negotiating off of our list prices.
Yes.
We're negotiating. So make an offer on a
an
new
offer.
home. And the new home, guess what? Everything's new.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with anything, worrying about inspections. Well, you still have to have inspections, but I don't have to worry about warranty.
Warranties.
I don't have to worry about, a lot of them come with impact glass.
And your insurance is super cheap on a new house. So
Saving thousands and thousands of dollars on insurance.
it's, all around, you've got to be competitive with what else is out there. And you have to hope that somebody who's looking is going to want that charm and that matureness of your home versus
Landscaping, the
something's
trees.
brand new. You know,
Yeah.
some people don't want to live in a construction zone. I get that.
Yeah.
But that's a short-lived problem in a lot of these
But
places.
the buyer will overcome their own objection to that if they're getting a much better value.
Oh, for sure. I had buyers last year that bought new construction. They were able to go up slightly in their price point because of those promotional interest rates. And that particular builder had it on a certain 2 homes or whatever in 2 different communities. So they basically are like, which one's left? We'll take that one. They bought the house that fit the interest rate. It wasn't even so much about the house. Like, it had the right number of bedrooms, the right number of bathrooms. They're like, that sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
It's a good way for them to get into their first
And in
home.
today's economy, we're in an election year where there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of unrest worldwide, civil unrest. So people are much more cautious. They're
Definitely.
much more cautious.
And I think, it'll be a good year, but I think we're going to see that a big slowdown come in August because of, the impending election and all of that. I think people are going to be a little nervous.
And if you're targeting older buyers, I think that's even more true because a lot of them don't have to move.
Right.
They're not moving for employment or something like that. So they're going to kind of stay put.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Do we have anything else to talk? Oh, staging.
That's important. If your realtors, it's okay. Price is one aspect.
Right.
The other aspect is your realtor's going to come in. They're going to take a tour of your home before you ever go on the market, and they're going to give you suggestions about, and sometimes you ask us, what should we do before we go get pictures
should ask
done?
us. If you didn't,
You
ask
absolutely
us, you
should ask us.
us.
We have a whole booklet for you, and we'll give you like detailed recommendations, like based on what is your budget. That could be touching up paint.
Yes.
It might be a full repaint depending on what's going on in your home. It could be like, let's get all of this furniture out of here if it's an empty home.
Yes.
Because maybe the pieces aren't cohesive and they don't look good together.
Or maybe you've just left the pieces you didn't want. Guess what? The buyer doesn't want those either.
They really don't. How many times I've said, I'm not going to take that with me. We'll just leave that for the buyer. What makes you think they're going to want that?
Right.
'Cause
Or
you don't.
and they don't want to get rid of it.
No, they don't want to deal with that. So get it out. Maybe your home needs to be staged to be competitive because maybe you are competing with all new construction, beautiful model homes.
Yeah.
It's hard
There's
to
a
compete
reason
with.
that model homes are staged.
Yes.
There's
Absolutely.
a reason.
Yes. It's
So-
to create that, inspired feeling of wanting to buy
And the
live
warmth, the
in home.
coziness,
Yeah,
the
and live
feeling
there.
of home, and not just this
And to
empty
show
four
you
walls.
how the space functions
Yes.
too, because sometimes you can walk into a house and you're like, well, what would go over here if
Right.
it's empty? Yeah.
Right. So that's always a good idea too. We like staging. We don't make money off staging. We don't own a staging company. We don't get benefits from a staging company. We only recommend staging when we think that it will assist in selling your home faster and for a better price.
Yeah, and people will ask me all the time, well, what if we just did those virtual staging things, which can be a good tool. The problem with that is that then when they're seeing the pictures online, a lot of time they look virtually staged, but then they get to the house and it's not like that at all. So it's kind of like a bait and switch that they feel like
They
they've been
feel let
pulled.
down, I feel like. Yeah, it's almost like you have to be careful. Like we do like to, if someone's moving out and we take the pictures before they move out and then they move out, that can create a problem too.
Same thing, yeah, same thing.
It's hard to take pictures of vacant homes. The pictures don't look as good, but it is definitely a letdown for the buyers when they go in and they're
And
like,
it's like, oh, it's not the same house. You get that a lot too from people who buy the home when there's somebody living there, the furniture stage, and then on the walkthrough day, because everything has to be out for that.
Yeah.
They'll go in and they're like, wow, it looks so different in here.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like with a negative tone in their voice, and I'm like, it's still the house that you loved.
Yeah.
You're gonna put your stuff in here, it'll be great.
Yeah, exactly. And let's not forget that Compass, we're with Compass, the brokerage Compass, and they offer a concierge program where you can basically borrow against the equity in your home to do some necessary home improvements.
Yes, if you don't have the cash, or maybe you want to leave your cash in your account sitting there, so it's a nice way to like access some usable equity.
And it works so well. It's very, very easy. If you need to do something like replace a roof, or you need to paint, or painting would make a big difference. Don't ignore those resources because they are very, very good.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
I think so too.
Okay. All right. So we will see you next time. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And that's it. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's been a freaking